Hi everyone, I'm here today to do the reading habits tag, which I recently saw on the Readables channel. She basically just tagged anyone who watched the video, and I felt like it was interesting to me as well. So let's just crack on with the questions. The first one is, do you have a certain place at home for reading? Yes, I always read in bed. I don't really tend to read like when I'm at home unless I'm just about to go to bed. I don't really read like during the day or anything. But then again, at the same time, I don't tend to be home that often either. Like, this is one of the rare times I'm just at home doing nothing. That's when I usually do things like this, like filming or catching up with things that I've wanted to watch. So I don't really read unless it's bedtime, and that's kind of how my body knows it's bedtime as well. Number 2 is, do you use a bookmark or some random paper? And I use a bookmark. I have one bookmark that I use in particular. I'm not sure if I've shown this before, but you can have a look again. It's my Hunchback of Notre Dame one with a film sailing. As you can see, there's Quasi on top of the church. So I use this in every book I read. I did have another bookmark though, and I lost it on a train, so I am a bit paranoid about losing it, but I can't not use it. Anyways, number 3. Can you just stop reading, or do you have to stop after a chapter or a certain amount of pages? I prefer to read full chapters at a go, just because it is such a clear ending kind of stop-off point. That's why they're chapters. I assume that's why they're in chapters, for that purpose. But say I'm travelling and I'm gonna get off the bus and or train or whatever, I will try and get to a page with a full stop at the bottom. I don't like to stop on a page that isn't end of a sentence at the bottom. I can't do it. I just can't do it. So I will stop reading pages in advance, because I will actually look through to see how many pages I've got. So I'll stop reading way before I have to stop reading if there isn't one like that for a while. Next question is, do you eat and drink while reading? Yes, I do. I tend to read when having a break at work, so like lunch breaks. I will read and eat my dinner at the same time. That's fine. And when I come home from work, if I'm doing a late shift, I'll come home and eat my tea in bed and read. That's really bad, but it's a habit I have and I don't mind, and I usually have a drink on me pretty much 24/7. I just like to have water around just in case, so I can drink, I guess, if I'm reading, if I really want. Next one is, do you multitask? Do you listen to music or watch TV while reading? TV, I don't understand why you would have that while you're reading. I think that is just there literally to distract you, because TV catches your eyes. But if I'm travelling and I'm listening to music, I will read at the same time, because I have the music to kind of drown out the rest of the public transport, because people do like to get loud, and if you're hearing someone's conversation, it might distract you, whereas if I'm listening to a song that I know all the words, I know it well, it's not really distracting me from the music, from the reading even, the music that is. So I like to have music on just to block out the rest of what's going on. Next is, one book at a time or several at once? One book at a time. I can't say I've ever even really attempted to read several at once, apart from like when you have to read a book at school and or college, and I'm reading one at home. But to be honest, it kind of makes me forget about the one that I'm reading like compulsory, and I'll just enjoy the one that I'm reading by choice. A lot of the time that is what's happened to me, but I can't really help it. And I've tried reading the educational one at home instead, but I guess the reason why I don't like reading those books is because someone's like, you have to read this, and so I don't enjoy it because it's being forced upon me. The next question is, do you like reading at home or everywhere? Mainly at home, that's where I read more than anywhere else, but I read at work and I read while travelling, that's fine. I don't really see any other places though where I would read, because I'm usually doing something other than just sitting around doing nothing, being able to read. The next one is reading out loud or reading silently in your head. Now, I don't really know who's sat at home reading out loud to themselves. I'm not one of those people, if that's a thing, and I never liked reading aloud in class. I'm fine at reading. I'm a really good reader. I've always been told I was a strong one, but I hate reading aloud. It just, I don't know, I guess because I don't really want to take on the personas of everyone that I'm thinking of in my head. They're my personas for me. The next question is, do you read ahead or skip pages? Now, I don't intentionally read ahead, but sometimes I'll turn a page and then without thinking a word will catch my eye and I'll go, and that's it. There's like a slight spoiler on that page, but that's it. That's about as much of a spoiler as I'm going to get. That's about as far ahead as I get, just on that page. Never pages ahead. I can't say one of them people that like skips to the end and gets the full story. Next one is, do you like breaking in the spine or keeping it like new? I've got to admit, I'm a sucker for breaking in the spine, mainly because I'm reading it while I'm tired, so I'm a bit of a brute with my books, like unintentionally, but the rest of the book tends to be like new, even though the spine is absolutely destroyed. I'm not quite sure how I manage it, but somehow I do. So that's that one. And the final question is, do you write in your books? Now, I've never wrote in a book that I have chosen to read. It's the same thing again. School and or college, I had to write in my books I was studying, because you take that book into the exam with you. So you write all your notes in there. You don't have like a separate thing of notes. You have to take that book and that book alone for some of them. So I have books like To Kill a Mockingbird has got my writing in, and The Colour Purple has got my writing in, because they were books that I read at school or college. I did really enjoy To Kill a Mockingbird though, so that was one that I actually read with school that I enjoyed. So that's one plus. But I have written in them, and I've even bent the corners of the pages over. I don't like doing that either, but in the school books I did, just because they were like ones with lots of notes or like good quotes for exam questions, so only for educational purposes. That's all the questions in this reading habits tag. Again, I'm just going to do the same thing. If you've watched this and you find it interesting, then I tag you and make your own video. That's cool. Hopefully I'll find it. And that's everything. I'll talk to you guys later then. Bye.